Hey,
Hello,
hey,
hello, and good day. Hi,
hey!
hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thrive in 5 with a twist. Welcome to week number 3. Today, we're diving into Enter Your Thrive State. So, say hi when you arrive. Let us know that you're here so that we can welcome you and greet you. We're so grateful to be here with you all. There's a lot that we want to cover today. We're going to do another Thrive in 5 practice. And for those of you that are just getting to know Gabriel and I, my name is Tara Antler.
And I'm King Gabriel.
And we are the co-founders of Ascension Academy of Light, which is a global center that specializes in intuition development, inner healing and transformation, abundance and creation, and spiritual mastery. We also have our certification side of things where we certify students and clients in advanced energy healing, meditation, teacher training, spiritual practitionership, and soul coaching. And we've been doing this non-work for well over 20 years now. And we've both worked with well over 10,000 clients one-to-one, including we've done so many workshops. I would say thousands and thousands and thousands of workshops in person and online. We facilitated just under, not quite 100 retreats, but we're climbing up there. And it is our greatest joy to be here with you because one of the things that both Gabriel and I love to do most is to help people move through the stuff that doesn't serve us, to clear out, to clean house, then really be able to connect to our ascended self, our spiritual self, our higher self, whatever you want to call that, our soul self, and not only touch it, but be able to bring it here to earth because we believe that we are here to create something exceptional on the earth. We're not here to repeat history. We're here to create something new. And we're in such an incredible time right now on the planet because we actually get to do that, which is really fun and exciting. So please say hi when you arrive. I'm going to be watching comments here. If you're tuning in on Substack, just say hi as well. And please comment. We will come back and read your comments. If you need the workbook, just type workbook. In Facebook, if you're tuning in there, I posted the workbook link above in the chat. So you just have to scroll up a little bit. And if you need the workbook, it's there. Hi, Tara. Hi, Gina. Thanks for tuning in. Hi to everybody who's catching the replay. I know I received a lot of messages today from people saying they're catching the replay. And so what I would love to do is set an intention maybe for today as we go into week 3. We enter our Thrive state. So with your eyes open or closed, totally up to you, because I get sometimes we're multitasking while we're tuning in. Just if you can, hold intentional space for a moment. I'm going to close my eyes because I want to set the intention for us to truly tune into the highest energy, the highest presence, and the highest truth for who and what we are as spiritual beings, as light beings. May we all tap into a higher Thrive energy, a higher state, and a higher truth that allows us to become all that we're meant to become here. And with that, we take a deep breath in, and so it is. So welcome. We're so grateful to be here. If you need the workbook, type workbook in the comments. We're going to dive on in. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to toggle back and forth today between a workbook and you seeing us, just to give you some variation in some viewership, which is always fun. And let me see here. Add to the stage. There we go. Let me just fix this here. Hold on, Gabriel.
I'm holding on.
There we go. There we go. Holding on. All right. So we're entering our Thrive state. This is really what we're doing. So if you have the workbook, you can follow along in the workbook. If you don't have it as yet, the links are everywhere. And what you can do is if you don't have the workbook, you want to just like sit back and relax and take it in, you can. The replays are going to be up for another week and a bit. So we have one more session together. Week number 4 is next week. So we will have that session live as well. And that'll remain up for one more week. And then this series will disappear into the ethers. It'll probably be uploaded for our Thrive Evolution clients. And so you have some time. So you can take it in, step back, relax, take notes if you want, however you want to receive, but we're going to dive into the content. I also want to say happy St. Patrick's Day for those of you that celebrate. And I hope that you're enjoying the energy of the Irish. Gabriel and I lived in Ireland for, was it 9 months? 9 months we lived in Ireland and we loved it there so much. So we're going to toggle back and forth between you guys being able to see us here and then being able to see the workbook. All right. Okay. So enter your Thrive state. You were designed to thrive, really. Truly, you were designed to thrive. And today we're stepping into the vessel. So we've been working through an acronym of 5, F-I-V-E. The first week we were on F, which was focus. Second week, intention and intuition, which is the I. This week, we're on the V. So this is the vessel. So you were designed to thrive. And today, we really want to help you create some space to clear out what's in the way of you thriving. Because a lot of times, we forget that we have this beautiful experience. We have this blueprint. We have this incredible life that we're living here. And I just want to pause for a second to speak into this a little bit, because I'm just going to turn this off, Gabriel. I get a little cold. So we got the AC going a little bit, and I get a little chilly. But we forget that we have this incredible vessel that we are living in, that we are existing in. And sometimes we forget that this vessel also has and holds the codes and the energy and the truth of who and what you are and all that you are to become. We forget that because we get busy in life. We get busy in the day-to-day. And today we really want you to start to focus your energy back to yourself and to the goodness of you and your light. Anything you want to add?
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the things around you in the environment, as we said the other day. And, to fall into the norm, the patterns of the past. But when you have the opportunity to recalibrate, like this is an opportunity to do just that. Mm-hmm. It's good to take it and to just allow yourself that chance to move back to center, move back to a new idea or a fresh idea about yourself. And that's what the opportunity really is, right? There are many distractions in the world. There are things that pull us, as we said the other day. But sometimes we get so caught up in them that we forget what's important, right? So it's good to have the opportunity to just reprioritize those things. And this particular conversation about being a vessel is about you being open to receive. Right? That's really what a vessel does, right? Open to receive and contain what's coming in. So let's take the opportunity to do that. Yeah.
Awesome. So if you want to come back to the workbook for a moment, let me see if I can switch. There we go. All right. So your vessel is, and you'll see a fill in the blank, your vessel is sensitive. So this vessel is sensitive, which means it's sensitive and sensitive. Those are the two fill in the blanks. It's sensitive as to what goes in, meaning information, consciousness, thoughts, all sorts of things from the outside world. It's sensitive to food. It's sensitive to the air we breathe. It's sensitive, and we are sensitive beings.
And I just want to define that sensitivity a bit more. The sensitivity is the reaction to stimulus, right? Whatever the environment is giving you as a stimulus, that reactivity and the degree of reactivity that you would have is your sensitivity. Right. So like if you stick your hand in, some people literally can touch a hot pan and have literally no reaction because for whatever reason, the nerves are not as reactive for them as others. Right. And some would touch that and immediately they'll reel away. Right. So it's about your sensitivity and knowing yourself in that. Go ahead, though. Yeah.
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah. And let us know in the comments, because I think a lot of times in the spiritual or awakened world, we talk about sensitivity in terms of empathic.
Yes.
So let us know in the comments, just write the word empath. If you notice that about yourself, that you're very empathic, meaning you're very sensitive to also energies, thoughts, expressions, and experiences from others or the outside world. Because when we're sensitive, it's a gift. Sensitivity is actually a gift. We are meant to have senses, right? Think of the word sensitive, actually has the word sense in it. We're meant to have senses. You've got your touch, like Gabriel was just talking about, your hearing, your eyes, your taste, your smell. We have so many senses. And then there's the energetic senses, like our third eye and our intuition. Yeah. So we are very sensitive beings. Your vessel is designed for sensitivity. Think about a baby. When a baby first comes into the world, let me just switch screens here. When a baby first comes into the world, they're not desensitized. You don't hear of a baby being desensitized. If ever you look at like when they take the little blood sample, we only did that, I think it was with Aria. We didn't do it with the twins. We opted out of that one. But when they do the little prick on their heel, they scream because their skin is being pierced for a moment to draw blood. They're screaming because it hurts. There's a sensitivity. And I think what happens over time, this vessel becomes desensitized. I think our vessel becomes so filled and overloaded with certain things that it's not that we've lost the purity. It's still there. It's just there's a lot of other things that are inside the vessel jamming it up that we desensitize ourselves. So we dull our senses.
Yeah. And I'll show you another layer of that sensitivity since we spoke about that. For most dads, right, with their little children, whether girl or boy, right? If they see their kids going through pain, there's a sensitivity. I felt a reaction recalling that incident where they had to prick her to get the stuff. Like I felt something, right? And most dads would probably feel that because you have that role of protector to your young, right? And there's a sensitivity in that to an emotional change that happens as a result of thinking about that.
That's right.
So we're sensitive on several levels, and it's good to be aware. And that ain't gonna happen again. I can tell you that.
Yeah. After that, we were like, we're not doing that again.
Crazy. Yeah.
Because we saw the sensitivity.
Yes.
We saw it was like what's that word? Like a
visceral reaction.
Yeah, but you know, when somebody breaches like an energy, all of a sudden it created this like, that's not cool. Like that will never happen again. So when the twins were born, Gabriel was like, no, he was a warrior for it. He was like, no, this isn't happening. Yeah. And I think sometimes we forget to stand in our vessel for what is our ultimate truth. And if we really want to enter into a thriving state, we can't be dulled. We can't be turned down. We can't have our senses turned off. We can't have our intuition dialed down. We actually need to embrace our sensitivity. And I think a lot of times people are afraid of their sensitivity because we've had crazy things happen. Let us know in the comments if you've ever had anything happen that's like hurt you or hurt your feelings. I think most people have. So as a result of that, if we don't know how to heal and grow and move through those things, we will protect, because you do have an ego, and that ego is there as a preservation protective mechanism. So it's going to protect you from further pain or hurt. It doesn't want you to go through that. So it's going to protect you. What we have to learn if we really want to get into a thrive state, one of the very first things is to embrace our sensitivity and to allow our sensitivity to come back up and online, because our sensitivity allows us, it teaches us, it shows us what's in alignment, what's good for us and what's not. It teaches us what's for us and what's against us. It shows us what's going to allow us to thrive and what's going to be working in the opposition of that thriving energy. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to add that when we think about a thrive state, like we're saying, we're thinking about you thriving. So it's a thriving state. You living in a state where things are working out, working as they should, working in the miraculous way that they're intended to for you and your life, not an uphill struggle for every single activity that you're taking on or the growth that you want to experience, right? Some seeds are thrown on, the rock, and they take a while to really grow into plants, etc. And then some are put into fertile soil and they grow well. We want you to be in that place where you're on infertile soil. And that is exactly what the thrive state, as we're calling it, is that state of being supported, being held, being able to grow naturally, and being able to fulfill what the real intention was for you and your life. Yeah,
exactly. And I see people saying, yes, empath. And it's important to know that, right, about yourself, because when you can see that you are empathic in essence and in energy, then we can refine, we can grow, and we can embrace what we are. So again, your vessel is sensitive, right? And then it's sensitive as to what goes in, what influences you, and the energy you're using then to create. See, if we are allowing in certain noise, for example, or distractions, that noise can influence our creative output. But if we allow our vessel to get clear, which is a big part of what we're going to do today, if we allow the vessel to get clear, then your creation energy, which you're using to create, will be clear as well. All right. So what makes up your vessel? So let's just get clear so all of us are clear. What makes up your vessel? Like, what are you? In essence, if we were to break it down, what are you? You've got your body, right? Dense physical body. You've got your emotions, your emotional field. You have your mind and your thoughts. And then you have your energy, your spirit, your soul. There's many, many names for the same thing. Plasma, spirit, energy, higher consciousness, God consciousness, soul. You have this higher energy, this spiritual energy. That's what your vessel is. It's not just the physical vessel, although this is an amazing physical vessel that we get to live in, right? So there's space there for you to look at your current state and look at for yourself what's been influencing, impacting, or affecting your vessel. So there's space there for you to write. So as we're talking, I want you to look at this, and I'm going to share an example. So looking at your current state, like where you are now, your vessel, not just your body, that's one piece, but your body, your emotions, your mind, your spirit, or your soul, your energy. Looking at your current state, what's been influencing, impacting, or affecting your vessel? So as you're doing this and as you're writing this out, I want to just share an example. So whenever external consciousness comes into my field, and this happens all over the place, like the last, I'd say 3-4 nights in a row, I've been doing a lot of astral travel. And I've been traveling to a lot of people that I know and that I love. And when I'm there, I'm sometimes doing energy healing. I am having conversations of completion. I can sense and feel when someone's getting ready to make their transition. And a lot of dreams that I've been having over the last couple of nights, people have been saying goodbye. And I've had this happen my entire life. It's just when I was younger, when that would happen in my vessel, in my experience, I didn't know what all that meant. I kind of knew what it meant, but I didn't know what it meant until later on when I learned and I discovered, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, there's this whole other world that we get to tap into. And now I just know, because this has happened, Gabriel's heard me tell so many stories about these things happening, that I just know now, I trust what my consciousness is showing me. Now that can leave a lingering effect. And I can feel that over the last like 3-4 days. I woke up this morning and, it's cloudy here, which I'm not upset about. Like, it's when you have almost every day of sunshine, I welcome a rainy day sometimes here in Mexico. So some could say, oh, well, it's because it's a cloudy day. No, that's not really it. But there's an energy, a leftover energy that's affecting or impacting how I feel today. And how I feel today, if I'm honest, and this is about honesty, right? If I'm honest about how I feel today, I'm not feeling my most vibrant self. Now, I can manufacture vibrancy. I know how to get into the zone of vibrancy. But if I'm honest with what I'm existing and experiencing in right now, I can feel there's like a bit of a heaviness, like a subdued energy a little bit. And it's having me feel a little bit more sleepy or tired, quotation marks, okay? I'm sharing this because it wasn't because I didn't get enough sleep. It wasn't because I didn't take care of my vessel. It wasn't because, like, people could come up with all sorts of reasons. When we start to know ourselves, and this is part of entering into a Thrive state, you have to be willing to look at yourself and look at when you're feeling a certain way, when you're thinking a certain way, when you're experiencing something, or how your body may be presenting, to have an eye on all parts of your vessel, which can then help tell you where you need to grow or what needs to shift. So I haven't even had a moment to look at this. And I every time I went to go do it, something would distract me. So I have a feeling I was meant to do this live with you here. As I sit with that for a moment and I ask myself, what is it that I'm feeling? I can feel grief and I feel sadness, because I feel like in maybe the weeks or months to come, I'm going to be saying goodbye to certain people who I have had these dreams about. And that leaves me feeling a certain way. Now, I could pretend that that's not there. That's what most of the world does, right? We pretend. We're like, I don't have time for that. I don't want to deal with that. Like, what if that's not even true? Right? Like, we can mentally move a lot of energy around. But if I actually sit with how I'm feeling what I'm feeling, right? When you can look at what's influencing. Now, some people, it might be worldly things that they're seeing. Some people, it might be conflict in their life. Some people, it might be financial situations. Some people, it might be health scenarios. Some people, it might be a break in the spiritual energy where they're just like, I don't even know what the frig is going on. All these things can impact and influence us, which changes then our state. Okay? That's what's happening. All of these things, like what I just explained to you, they're impacting my state. Now, does it mean that I'm not in a thriving state? No, I know that I'm in a thriving state. However, there's a temporary disturbance in the field. Okay? Now, again, most of the world will ignore it. Most of the world will be like, this is irrelevant. Move on. Got other things to do. And that's fine. Sometimes there's place for healthy ignoring. However, I have seen time and time again, the moment that you just stop and drop into yourself, and you shift whatever that energy is, you clear and move the energy that's present, you then create more space, and then naturally that thriving energy enters back in. And this is what we're going to do today. Anything you want to add to that?
No, it's okay.
Yeah? Okay. So hopefully that's given you guys some time to just kind of write and reflect on what is happening in the space and in the field. Okay, so we're going to go to the next page. So 4 main things to release from your vessel or evolve, right? Because sometimes it's a matter of releasing certain things or evolving certain things if you want to thrive. Do you want to do the 4?
You go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll jump in.
Yeah. Okay. 1, distractions. Now we talked about distractions a lot. I think it was like week 1 and week 2. We talked a lot about distractions. So we're not going to hang out there too much. Distractions are one of those things. You want to be able to come back and focus. Just like we talked about week 1, you got to refocus your energy. And you got it. That is not just something you do once, by the way. That's not something you do once. You can literally be in your thriving state, feeling good, and all of a sudden distractions come. That's a practice because we're so inundated, right? Number 2, and this is a fill in the blank for you, old stories and beliefs. Old stories and beliefs. You want to do 3 and 4?
Sure.
No? Yeah.
Sure.
I just feel like I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, no, okay. Number 3 is negative thinking, right? So it seems like this doesn't need explanation, but I feel it does, okay? Negative thinking is anything that pulls you away from the intention or the goal that you're headed towards, right? If you look at the word negative, you'll see that negate is in there. So it negates your advancement. It negates what you're headed towards, right? So negative thinking is not necessarily somebody just being mean or bad or any sort of judgment. It's about, does this thing advance me? Does it move me towards my goal, or does it move me away from my goal? So sometimes you might have people coming to you in a happy mood and joyful and everything, and you think that, yes, this is awesome. But if that, yes, this is awesome, leads you away from your goal, then it's actually a distraction. It's actually pulling you away from the signal that you're headed towards. So this is where we have to be discerning, because negativity is not what we think it is. Negativity is that which pulls us away from where we're headed. Right? And that's a bit of wisdom there. I hope you guys get a bit there, because honestly, sometimes things look very positive, right, in this world. But if the result is that they pull you away from where you're really headed, then they're not positive, are they? Right? Okay. And the last one, number 4 here, is the environment. And we spoke about this a bit in the last few things we've done. But
last Friday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday.
Yeah. But the environment can sometimes really dictate the pace with which you reach towards your goal, right? Because if you grow up in an environment that has a lot of distractions in it, or a lot of negativity, things that always pull you off track, then it's that much more effort to get there, because it's almost like you have to pull up this huge amount of will in yourself, willpower, right? To drive yourself through things that you should just be able to do naturally, right? And that extra effort is where some people fall off. Because to have that extra effort, especially on days when you're tired, or you're moving through something, or that sort of thing, it's like summing up that extra effort feels hard. It feels hard. Right?
You want to go drink a bunch of coffee or something, or you're like, I'm checked out for the day. Like, that's it.
Yeah, you want to do something easy, right? And then you have to will yourself forward. Now, kudos to the people who have the will to keep going, even in those environments, because eventually it does pan out.
Yeah.
But it's not an everyday thing to naturally want to do that, right? So if we can tweak the environment, or if a natural change in the environment comes to us, we should gracefully accept it if the environment we're in at the point in time is not conducive. For instance, it could be the friends that we're keeping, like people say, but not because those friends are bad friends, but because those friends may have ideas, thoughts, ways of being that pull us away from where we're headed. So it's not a judgment. It's just understanding this is not actually helping. Right? It could be our environment, our internal environment, where sometimes we're hard on ourselves, or sometimes we think thoughts from the past about our failures, or whatever we didn't do, or what we could have done differently, and all that stuff. And again, if that's not allowing you to be there in the space you need to be, the state you need to be in to continue to advance, then that is also pulling you away. That's an environment, an internal environment that's pulling you away. Hence, the thriving state that we're talking about is being able to move into a state where those sorts of things are not primary or not priority for you, and you start to vibrate in the frequency that is where you're headed, that is where you'd like to be, that is who you'd like to be.
100%. No, it's so good. I just want to say hi to a few people. Hi, Crystal. And I think I saw Jess on there. So we have a question for you then. Based on what we just mentioned, okay, these 4 things, which of these have you already started to release or maybe evolve? Okay, and let us know in the comments. Distractions, the negative thinking, old stories, beliefs, and environment. Which of these 4 have you already started to shift or evolve or release? Okay, let us know in the comments. The second question then is, which ones do you need to work on? right? Because we're a work in progress, right? We're ever evolving. So which ones do you now need to work on when you see this and you're like, okay, I am inundated with distractions. I got to work on that one a little bit more. Or maybe you're like, you know what? Old stories and old patterns and old loops are like surfacing like crazy right now. I was good for a while, but it's surfacing. If that ever happens, it just means that you're ready to evolve and grow and advance yourself to a new level. So what happens is old stories kind of come back up again, right? Negative thinking. Are you noticing like the internal environment in which I'm thinking is just not so positive? Or are you noticing that I've outgrown the environment that I'm in, or I'm surrounded in an environment that's just not conducive to where I want to go? Let us know in the comments. Okay. Please let us know in the comments. Which one are you working on and which one have you released? Hi, Jen. Nice to have you.
And while you're saying that, I'm just going to go into one more bar about this. Yeah. It's this. Nowadays, attention is really our currency, right? It's a huge currency for us.
Yeah.
And in fact, most of the companies that build phones and stuff like that know that attention is a currency, right? Hence all those notifications that come up that draw your attention. That's what it's doing, is pulling your attention, right? Your currency in that way. Now, when you start to be in the world as it is right now, you'll find that the distractions don't seem to be distractions to you, right? Because they're favorable yet again, right? Like, for instance, you go on your phone and you're like, oh, I have to search for this part at this place, right? And you start looking for the part at the place. You go to your Home Depot or whatever and you start to look. And then you see a little cat on the corner dancing.
And drew your attention. That's
or something like that, right?
Toast.
Next thing you know, you follow that cat. Next thing you know, you're watching something about fluffy pink cats on rainbows. And,
you're
5
like,
minutes later, you're smiling a huge smile. You're smiling a huge smile and scrolling away. And you didn't get the part. You didn't do it, right? And that happens all the time. And it may not necessarily be the pink cat or anything like that, but many other ways that you end up on a different path to where you're headed, right? So it's almost like we have to have a built-in, it's willpower yet again, but a built-in ability to hone in on what we want to do and stay focused, like we said, right? And complete the task at hand. Even though it sounds rigid, right? It's a way for us to maintain the awareness of what we're really creating. We need to be in that space more often. And that is part of the thriving state, being able to maintain that so that those little sidebars that are there don't just pull you off, right? Yeah.
And so Tara's saying all of the above. I've outgrown the environment I'm in. So again, if you feel like you've outgrown the environment that you're in, then now you need to either one of two things. You either need to create a new, well, one of three things, I would say. Create a new internal environment, which is what we're going to do. Part of that is what we're going to do in Thrive today. Okay. And for those of you that are in Thrive Evolution, and if you want to come and join us for Thrive Evolution for the year, for the next month, I want to share something with you that we're going to do tonight. I want to have everybody in Thrive Evolution go inward to create that new internal environment. Because like Gabriel mentioned on Saturday, when we did an impromptu live, if we want to see the external environment change, we have to do the inner work. So that's taking our vision, which oftentimes we think of our vision and our intuition as this like magnifier, which it is, and we get to see, right? With expanded vision and intuition. Part of what we're going to do tonight in Thrive Evolution, for those of you that are in Thrive, and if you want to come into Thrive for the next month, this is what we're going to be doing tonight, is taking the view in and starting to imagine and vision a new internal world. And as we readjust to that new internal environment, what starts to happen by default is your external environment immediately starts to change. So if your environment, and then what I would say, Tara, is look at what parts of your environment, for any of you that resonate with environment, what parts of the environment have you outgrown? Is it internal? Is it external? So if it's external, then one of two things. You either need to actually change the external environment and whatever that looks like. It could be job, it could be people, it could be where you live, all those types of things. Or it could be surrounding yourself or leaning into environment spaces and places that do support you even more, right? Like lean in even more. Okay. Let's just see my external environment to clarify. Yeah. So external environment. So when your external environment, even when our external environment, when we've outgrown it or we know it needs to change, you guys know it's always an inner work first.
It is. In fact, I want to speak a quick bar on that. if our external environment is not conducive and we try to resist it or just run away from it,
Mm-hmm.
right? What happens is, because in our minds we remember it and we're dealing with
Yeah.
it, we'll probably recreate something that's similar
Mhm.
to it
Mhm.
because we haven't dealt with the energy of
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not wise ever to try to just
Yeah.
run over the environment or blame people for how it is or any of
Yeah.
that stuff to move.
Yeah.
It's much better to translate or to transform the inner environment and how you feel about the
Mhm.
environment, right? And then what will happen is, naturally, if you're not fitted
Mhm.
there, you'll find that some gentle move comes in and you're
Mhm.
moved to another environment all of a sudden. That's how
Yeah.
that works, right? Yeah.
And maybe that's what we can do tonight in
Yeah.
Thrive class as well is so, and I'll give you some more information about Thrive Evolution for those of you, if you're curious and you want to come join us tonight and for this next month. Maybe that's what we can do is, just like Gabriel said, because we're in Heal the Past, Heal All. That's the theme for this month of March, is Heal the Past, Heal All. And every month in Thrive, there's a new theme. And we're running through the 4 seasons, right, in one month. So
Yes.
week number 1, we were doing healing, like actual healing work. Last week, Gabriel was doing more of the manifestation creation, healing the stories
Heal
of our
money stories.
money
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're going to heal. So maybe what we need to heal then tonight is we're going to heal that internal, like Gabriel said, so that if we can heal that piece, then whatever we recreate, we're not recreating it from the old energy, which you know how that works, right? It's like try and run from something, it's just going to follow you,
Yeah.
right? Like your past is just going to follow you. So you got to heal the past to heal all, to be free. And we'll do that from the context of the environment, because again, I want to help you guys shift and heal whatever past environments have either been disappointing, frustrating, let down, haven't worked, things you've outgrown, and definitely environments that you're like, I am so complete with this that I do not want to breathe more life into this. I do not want this to carry forward, and I do not want it to repeat itself. Okay. So that's what we're going to do in Thrive tonight, as I was just feeling into that, which I think will be a really powerful class.
Gotcha.
Definitely involving environment. Amazing, Jen. So let us know again, and you probably already have, when it comes to my work environment. I work in construction, but am HR and wellness. I felt my office always had to reflect the construction masculine energy. It didn't serve me. And I worked at shifting, adding in plants, a diffuser, changing the artwork, and the other, like just changing the vibe. The staff have loved it, and I'm more at peace. Right, exactly that, right? So sometimes changing up what you see, again, changing up the environment can create a more conducive space to the very energy that you want to sit in. So that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Crystal's saying negativity right now because of everything that is going on and the weather's not helping. I need spring to come. I feel you, Crystal. I hear it's been a really long winter in the north. So I feel you 100%. And even with that, though, we forget how powerful we are in terms of creating the weather, right? It's like they might whatever, or the weather might be doing whatever, but we have to come back to our power, which has everything to do with our intuition again and our inner power to see a new vision and to power up that vision to the point that we actually can break apart the clouds. We can bring the sun. We actually can change the weather and bring about spring. You know what I mean? But when we fall into the distraction, or we fall into the story, or we fall into the environment, quotation marks, of what's being created around us, well, we've lost our power. So maybe that's another piece that we'll do in Thrive tonight. We're going to claim our power. I'm going to have to write this down so I don't forget.
Yeah. I was about to say that.
I won't forget. It's going to be a power-packed class. I won't. So I'm going to be like, we're going to claim our power back. Okay. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to claim our power back. We're going to
transform the inner environment.
Heal and transform inner environment. And then we're going to create a new inner environment, which then changes the external.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do in Thrive Evolution. So I'm going to take a pause there for a moment. Yeah. Thanks for helping me shape the class for this evening. No, it's so good, because this is like the co-creative energy. This is, I believe, the new energy, the new era. This is the new buzzword, the new generation, the new vibe that we're entering into, because it's no longer just like creating in a vacuum. We're co-creating this energetic space. As you guys lean in and tell us what's going on, Gabriel and I can be like, yeah, well, we can help. We can help shift that. We can help change that. We can help grow that piece. So for those of you, if this speaks to you in any way and you're like, gosh, I need this right now, can you post the links for Thrive Evolution?
Will do.
We'll do the regular link first, and then for those of you that are in Canada, because I know the exchange rate, it's in its fluctuation state right now, which I'm holding space that it changes. We'll post the Canadian as well. You can come into Thrive Evolution for this next month. Okay. Super easy peasy. You can come in for the month. If you love it and you want to stay, you get to stay. If you're like, I just want to come in for the month, great, come in for the month, but at least take action and do something, change something up, change the rhythm, change the energy, change the pathway. Okay. If you want to come in for the full year because you just know and love us and you love this energy, there's a really sweet opportunity right now to come in to Thrive at like a ridiculously awesome rate that we've never even put this forward, even when we first birthed Thrive Evolution. And if you want some additional one-to-one support, there is the option when you click on that page to upgrade if you want some one-to-one support. So you can do an add-on package, I think of 4 sessions, 6 sessions, or 12 sessions. So if you know you love the one-to-one support, you can do an add-on to include that. And for anybody who chooses to come in,
I put the link for the regular right now. Do I also put the
CA
CA link?
Put the CA link too.
Just a second.
And for anybody who chooses to come in today, if you come in for the next year, and for anybody that's already come in for the next year, if you came in last week or the week before and you want to come in for the year, we're going to add in for you. It was a part of Thrive and it was so powerful. Some of you already have access to this who were in Thrive from maybe last year, I think it was. Yeah, it was last year that we did this one. We called it the Thrive State, and it was a 10-week focus, the Thrive State, and it was mind-blowingly awesome. And that was, well, I mean, all of the Thrive classes are like my favorites, but that was one of my favorite, like concentrated ones, because it truly looked at our belief systems, stopping the patterns and the loops, changing up how we're thinking, changing up how we're feeling, and then recreating a whole new Thrive paradigm. It's no longer like, yes, we have to change our thinking. We got to change our mind. We got to change the paradigm that we're living in, because we are, if you look out, you could see that there's paradigms of varying capacities. And a lot of the paradigms that we see or realities that we see are not that of thriving nature. There's a whole storyline that feeds the narrative of you're not supposed to be healthy, right? You're not supposed to thrive. We created a whole, everybody who was in Thrive at that time, and this is why I want to gift this to anybody who comes in for a year. If you really want to create a Thrive state for real, this additional piece is really going to help you go through that. So you'll be able to have access to Thrive, the live classes on Tuesday nights, Q&A on Thursday mornings, and then you have access to the replays. Okay, so Gabriel posted the links there for you. This is
Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah. And if you're on Substack,
put it in Substack as well?
If you can, yeah, that'd be great. I think you can. If you're on Substack, Gabriel's going to post the links there for you as well. So this is a really great opportunity. And I don't know if it's going to stay in this capacity. Chances are we're going to increase the rates again, but we wanted to do something really beautiful for this month because it's spring energy. We're coming into new beginnings. We're coming into this fresh energy. And this is a really great time to refresh and reset. And let's create something different than what we're seeing out there in the world. Okay, so the links are there. All right, so let me see if I missed anybody else's comments.
And just in case you don't know me on Substack, it should be King Gabriel. All right, that's posting on there right now, and you'll be able to see the links. Oh no, it's under Architects of Reality. That's my Substack. Right? So it'll be under Architects of Reality. That's the guy that's posting, and that's me. Okay.
And then Tara was saying, yes, my external environment. Jen was also saying the staff legit interacted with me differently, right? I think they feel a safer space, and it's incredible. That's what happens. Right? Like people will respond differently when you change up the energy. When you change the energy, people respond differently to the energy. So I love that you shared that, Jen, because that's the whole point, right? Is to create those shifts, subtle and powerful, that creates a shift. You know what I mean? All right. So coming back to the notes, let me just pull this back up for you guys here. All right. So become a vessel. This is really what we want you to do, is to become a vessel that is open, that is flowing, that's allowing life force. That's the fill in the blank. To become a vessel that is open, flowing, and allowing life force, which is vital life force energy, to move through you and into your life. This leads to living abundance. This is what actually leads to. This is like one of the first steps to living abundance. So let us know in the comments, Do you want to live abundantly? Like abundance in all the ways, right? Do you want to live abundantly in all the ways? And if the answer is yes, and let us know in the comments, if the answer is yes, we need to allow more life force into our vessel, which is what we're going to do here in a moment with the Thrive in 5 practice. You're going to go through a clearing with Gabriel, and then we're going to open up to receive more life force. When you have more life force, you have more abundance. So underneath that, it says, do you want to experience, and the first fill in the blank is abundance. Do you want to experience abundance? The second one, I think you have health. Do you want to experience health? And let us know in the comments, yes or no. Do you want to experience health? Because every time you say yes to something, by the way, you're claiming it. There's power in your yes. There's power when you say yes. It's an affirmative thing. You're like, yes, yes, I want more abundance. Yes, I want more health. I think you have the next one in your notes. Yes, I want more vitality. I want to feel vital. I want to feel youthful. I want to feel vibrant. Yes. I think you have the next one too. Love. I want to feel more love. I want to be in more loving states. Yes. The next fill in the blank, which I don't think you have, is opportunities. I want more opportunities. Opportunities maybe for more abundance, opportunities for more expansion, opportunities for deeper connection. There's opportunities everywhere. Just because the world says there's like whatever's going on, there are opportunities. Out of every fall, opportunities rise. Every closed door opens up others. And the last one, strong business. So for those of you that are entrepreneurs, business owners, starting a business, have a business, expanding a business, I want to claim this one. Strong business. Yes, I want a strong business. I want a healthy business. Yes. Right?
And I'd like to speak on yes,
Yes,
which is something that is so, I mean, there's a nuance there to it, right? It's yes itself seems very, very simple, right? Like we just say yes and we shake our heads. Yes,
like,
right?
yes.
But what is yes really? Yes is a conscious acceptance of whatever you're visioning as potential or possibility. You're aligning with it by saying yes. Right? So it's a conscious choice. It's an alignment. When you say yes to something, you're saying, I'm diving in. That's what yes is. So let's get down with that. When you say yes to these things like abundance and stuff, what you're really doing is diving into the energy of it and consciously choosing to be in it. Right? Not just doing it because somebody forced you to or anything like that. It's you there saying, I am choosing this vibration. Yeah.
And I would also then look at, again, come back to what do I need support with? And then say yes to whatever's going to support that. If you're saying yes, sometimes we need that support. It's like if I want to expand something and I don't know, or maybe I just need some extra love and support, or I need the reminders, I'm going to lean into spaces and places that are going to help remind me of that. Okay. So for those of you who are intrigued or curious about Thrive, this is a really great opportunity to step in. Again, you can do Thrive monthly. You can do Thrive for the whole year. If you're in, let's say, the Architects of Abundance, for example, because I know some of you here are, if you're in Architects of Abundance and you want to upgrade into Thrive, send Gabriel a private message and just say upgrade to Thrive. And whatever you've invested, if you did the full year in Architects of Abundance, we can take what you've invested in Architects of Abundance and we can apply that to Thrive. And then that'll make it an easier upgrade yes for you to make it an easier yes for you. Okay. If you, and we did this last week, and I think this is really fun. If any of you choose to come into Thrive while we're on the call, and we've got like 15, almost 20 minutes left here. If you choose to come on or come into Thrive monthly or for the year, you got to let us know that you're like, yes, I'm in, I registered, I'm doing this. Okay. We're going to gift you, if you come in for the month, we're going to gift you a 20-minute session with either myself or Gabriel. You get to pick and choose who you want to do that with. So we're going to gift that to you as a way to say thank you for saying yes to yourself, because I know sometimes we get distracted and then we don't do the thing that we intended to do. So we're going to give you a little something extra, a little sweeten the pot a little bit to be like, if you really want to step into Thrive, we'd love to welcome you into that space. Come into class tonight, say yes today, say yes to your next step, and we're going to gift you, if you come in for the next month, a 20-minute session with one of us. Okay. Totally a gift from us. If you choose to come into the year, you're like, I just love this already. I love the energy. I love the space. I love you guys. I want to come in for the year. We're going to gift you a 30-minute session with each of us. Okay. With each of us. But you got to do that while we're on the call. That's how the yes energy works. Right now, the energy of yes is moving faster and faster and faster and faster. So when we say yes to something, we take action and we're like, yes, I'm doing this thing. The universe literally opens up and goes, oh my God, you're serious about this. Okay, great. Let's support you. Let's rush in. Let's help you. Let's do everything we need to back this yes, to continue the yes momentum. And then you're going to find a bigger energy as a result of that. But if we say yes, but then we say no, think about what that's saying to the energetic field in the universe. It's conflicting. Or if we say yes, and we're going to do it later, but then we don't do it later, think about what that's saying to the universal field. And that might be a pattern that some people have, which actually works against you stepping into a thrive state. Because we all asked you guys, do you want to thrive? And if you say, yes, I want to step into my thrive state, I want to enter into that thrive state, and then we don't do the things that we know are going to help us step into that thrive state, we literally are canceling out us saying, I want to step into a thrive state, because we're not doing the thing that's going to help us step into the thrive state. Do you see what I'm saying? So the links are there. If you could post them maybe one more time, Gabriel. The links are there in the comments for you guys. And just let us know in the comments if you're like, I'm in, I upgraded, or if you're in one of our other things and you want to upgrade into Thrive, we'll set that up. And if you do it today, we'll honor that for you. Okay. And plus, if you come in for the year, you're going to get access to the Thrive, your Thrive state, your Thrive paradigm that we created.
And if you don't see the links by any chance, because it's not available to you, send me a message. Send me a message. King Gabriel Quincy Collymore, right, on Facebook Messenger. I'm probably in your inbox somewhere because I'm in contact with everybody, right? So just send me a message there, or on the page itself in the Facebook group. Just send me a message there. Yeah. I'll be there.
Perfect. And then coming back to the workbook, let me just come back to the next page here for you guys. There's space for you to write. So when you enter your Thrive state, okay, when you enter into your Thrive state, everything in your life will also thrive. So when you enter your Thrive state, everything else in your life will thrive. So you got to enter a state first. It's not ass backwards like that, you guys, where you're like, everything in my life is going to thrive and then I will thrive. That's not how it works. It works like this. I choose to thrive. I come into a Thrive state, happiness, abundance, vibrational goodness, joy, health, vibrancy. And then once I embody that state, everything in my life, in my environment, just like Jen was saying, she made some changes in her office, but I also know she's been doing a lot of inner work as well. So as she's been shifting her inner work, she also came into Thrive last week too. So she's creating momentum. As she starts to create momentum inside of herself, her environment naturally will change. It will start to thrive. It's not ass backwards the other way. It's not, I'll go just change everything out there and expect that. Most of the time it's the inner, right? So each person on this planet, every one of you has a blueprint to thrive. That's the fill in the blank. You'll have a blueprint to thrive. You were designed to thrive. The divine designed you to thrive. Creator, source, the infinite, the all, whatever you want to call it, actually designed you in every part, in every way for you to thrive. And if you're not thriving in all the ways, it's because you might have taken a detour. That's the fill in the blank. You might have taken a little detour. We're on our path and all of a sudden distractions come, old stories come, belief systems come in the way, habits and patterns come in the way. All these things we were talking about can come in the way and they create the detour. And when you take a detour, you know how that goes. It takes a little bit longer to get to where you want to be. It takes you a little longer to get to where you want to go. So let's come back, right? It's time to come back to you. Time to come back to your essence. There's 3 things that we must do if you want to start this path of thriving, okay? There's 3 things you must do. 1, you must remember. You have to remember now. We all have to remember. We must remember that we were designed to thrive. You must remember that you have a blueprint that says, I want to thrive. You feel it inside. If you actually get with your vessel again, okay? Get with the vessel. Your vessel was designed to thrive. Your body was designed to thrive. Your emotions were designed to thrive. Your thoughts were designed to thrive. Your energy and your spirit were designed to thrive. It's just we've been overloaded and inundated with lots of other junk. And that junk has suppressed our remembrance. We need to remember. We need to come back to ourselves. And this is where in Thrive, having these regular conversations is so important, you guys. We have seen so many times where people will go and they miss the space and And some people have like lifetime access to some of the content that we've given over the years. And yet they still take a detour. Why? Because of the world's distractions. When you leave, it's like if I leave PA, okay, this bubble that we live in, I love this bubble. I love it so much. And we're getting ready to go back to Northern Ontario, but we go into another bubble, okay? When I venture out into the regular world, it is intense. And I'm so happy to retreat back to my bubble. When I go out sometimes, and I did this with business coaches, it was like sometimes like the shiny object, right? Where I was like, I'm going to go try this and I'm going to go venture here and I'm going to go explore this. And I did. And I always learned something. But I miss when I find those pockets that feel like home, when I find those bubbles where I can be myself and I can have the reminders to come back to myself, especially in the realm of business, right? We have that here in our company because Gabriel and I created it. So Thrive is one of our favorite bubbles to be in. And all our other programs too, like the Academy of Light is my bubble. It is my safe haven that travels everywhere with us. And I think that's the biggest thing that people, when they come back into Thrive, for example, they'll often say, gosh, I miss this. I missed Q&A. I miss the regular conversations. I miss this energy. I miss these teachings. I miss the meditations. I miss the reminders. We hear this all the time from our people who come back. And they're like, I tried all these other programs. I was not seen. I was not heard. It was not like the world out there. The grass is not greener. And sometimes people have to go and experience that in order to come back in and say, I'm back home. And for those of you that are new to our world, this will feel, if you're in alignment, like from a soul resonance space, this will feel like home. This is about coming back to you. And Gabriel and I hold very sacred space. We've done this. This has been our entire life that we've held sacred space for people. As a business, for me, 24 years, I've been holding sacred space for clients in person, one-on-one, group sessions, same thing with Gabriel. We have held sacred space for so many people, like a whole town's worth of people, more than 15,000 one-to-one, tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands in group spaces. So when you enter into a field like that where people care about you and you feel seen and you feel heard and you're like, whoa, like I'm entering into something that's real and that's true, you naturally are going to remember you again. I don't have to yell. I don't have to shout. I don't have to do a bunch of stuff, wave magic wands to help you remember. You remember because you're in a field of remembrance. You're in a field of truth. Okay? Number 2. We have to realign now with this blueprint. So part of in Thrive, and this is the work, this is why we're not waiting to do certain aspects in 6 months or 12 months from now. We are thriving in all these seasons: abundance, relationships and healing, intuition, higher self, and the spiritual mastery purpose pieces every month, because we need to keep realigning with all of these pieces and areas of ourselves with this blueprint. We forget all the time about the blueprint. And so by being able to dip in and have these experiences regularly, you are realigning to the blueprint. You're realigning to the truth. You're realigning to what you are. You're realigning to your Thrive state again and again and again and again. And the last thing is, the last fill in the blank is rinse and repeat. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. The reason why we say rinse and repeat is because there are so many distractions out there that you have to come back to yourself again and again and again and again and again. That's why we created the Thrive in 5 practices, because we didn't want them to be complicated. We wanted them to be simplified, and so simplified that you can do them in 5 minutes, that you're like, I can do this practice in 5 minutes. I could do this thing in 5 minutes. I can say yes to this thing in 5 minutes. I can come back to my Thrive state in 5 minutes. The rinsing and repeating is really important because that's how you become disciplined. And I think Crystal had said that in there somewhere. Let me just come back over here. Crystal had said, still working on discipline and consistency. So when I hear that, when I hear somebody say, I'm working on consistency and discipline, or discipline and consistency, that then tells me that being in a space like Thrive Evolution, for example, will help with that consistency and discipline, because it's like, if I know every Tuesday night there is a class, I'm there. No matter what, I'm there. I go back to when Gabriel and I had the 3 little ones, 3 under 3. Many of you remember back then. I would show up, Gabriel and I tag team each week, but I was still teaching. It was very rarely that I missed a class. And I was breastfeeding. I had babes on the boob. I was breastfeeding while I was teaching. I didn't skip a beat. I know what it's like to have a lot of moving parts in your life. And if you really want to thrive, you have to start weighing out like what's more important. If consistency in whatever that looks like for you is important, then I would do the things that are consistent. That's why we've kept Thrive Evolution so consistent.
When you repeat a thing often, it
Yeah.
becomes your default setting.
Yeah.
Right? You know, sometimes you turn on a device and it has a default setting where everything is just set a certain way. And if you reset it, it'll go right back to that original setting.
Yeah.
When you repeat something and repeat something and repeat something, it becomes habitual, it becomes natural, it almost becomes muscle memory, like they say. And then that's what you default to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're really looking at advancing and being in a thriving state continuously, by practicing the practices we're speaking about, it becomes your natural way of being. So you don't have to go and overthink it and try to get yourself there. Eventually it becomes habitual. It becomes the new way that you function. Yeah.
100%. So some of you might need to shift that up a little bit, right? And that's where the consistency of Thrive lives. We've kept it consistent every Tuesday. We've been doing this every Tuesday coming up for 7 years. Every Thursday morning, Q&A for almost 7 years, 6 years, because the first year of Thrive, we didn't have Q&A.
Yeah.
So for 6 years, that says something. That says to me, if I heard that, I'd be like, whoa, these people are serious. Like they're not going away anytime soon. They're going to show up so I can show up. They're going to be there so I can be there. There's going to be consistency in this so I can show up and be consistent in this. You see what I'm saying? When a lot of things fluctuate, it can create fluctuation in your mind too. All right. So we're going to do the Thrive in 5 practice in a moment. Coming back to the notes, when you do this, everything thrives. So when you remember, when you realign, when you rinse, repeat, everything thrives. Okay. So I just want to say it one more time, and I'm going to tell you what the Thrive in 5 practice is, and Gabriel's going to do it. If you are feeling the call to do something different, to step into your Thrive state, to truly create a Thrive state from the inside out, to have it be consistent, to have the longevity, to have the internal peace and the abundance and the wealth and the prosperity and the opportunities. If you want things to open up instead of close down, which is what we see in the world, you got to do that inner work. And this is everything that we are focused on. You see, we're co-creating live with you right now. We're co-creating the Thrive experience right now too. In Thrive Evolution, it used to be more structured. Now we're saying, hey, what are you guys focused on right now? And we're co-creating with our clients, because I just want to serve. Gabriel just wants to serve. We want to show up in the ways that are going to help you thrive. And if we know what you're facing, we can help you. We've helped so many people through all different areas of their life. You can talk to any of our clients. If you go on that site that Gabriel posted, scroll down toward the bottom. Right now at this point, we have hundreds of testimonials, you guys. More testimonials than I could even put on a website. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials right now from clients. So many. And it's important, if you need that, it's important to go do a little due diligence, search and see. Many of you know us already. You've been in a lot of our containers already. So maybe this is a simple upgrade. Again, if you choose to come in the next 5 to 8 minutes is what's remaining, then we're going to honor you if you come in for the month with a 20-minute session with either one of us. If you come in for the year, we're going to gift you 2 sessions. There's also the option, if you love one-to-one, you can pick a package in there and upgrade and have some one-to-one if you want. Okay? Thrive is such a magical place to be. And it's no longer just a program. I've said this a lot lately. It's not just a program. It's not a program that you're like, okay, I checked off that. I went and did my aromatherapy, check. No, it's more than that. It's more than just learning a program. This is about a consistent evolution. That's why we called it Thrive Evolution, because you are constantly evolving. And we want to continue to thrive while we're evolving, while the world is evolving, while energies. And I'm telling you, you guys, the world is about to go through one of the greatest evolutionary changes that we will ever see in this lifetime. This is such an incredible time to have support, to have consistency, to enter into a field and a community and a space that's got your back, and to enter into a way of living, a lifestyle way of living where you truly know how to thrive from the inside out, so that no matter what happens out there, no matter what breakdown happens out there in the world, you're like, I got this. Why? Because internally I'm stable. Internally I'm strong. Internally I know what to do. Internally I know how to recreate. I know how to heal my past. I know how to heal myself. and I know how to transform the rest. That's what happens in Thrive. So just find the link. If you want those bonus sessions and you want to do this live with us, go and click, okay? If you're in, let's say, the Architects of Abundance and you want to upgrade, just send a message to Gabriel. We'll do that for you and we'll honor the bonuses, okay? If you come in for the year, we've got the Thrive State that we're going to gift you as well. If you go on the website, there's a bunch of other bonuses that I haven't even touched on that are in there that are worth more than the value of what you would invest coming into Thrive monthly or Thrive for the entire year. Now, it doesn't include one-on-ones. You can do that if you want. If you want to upgrade, you can include one-on-ones based on your investment level and what you love. And this is still a really beautiful opportunity to come in and experience Thrive. Okay, so click the link, do whatever you need to. The Thrive in 5 practice, you want to let them know what it is because they don't have it written in their notes.
Yes, the Thrive in 5 practice is clear the vessel.
Clear the vessel.
And it's creating space, right, to have yourself move into or be receptive of the state that you'd like to move into, to be clear. So there's a preparation, right? This is something we usually do at the beginning of taking on new creative ventures. Right? So right where you are, as long as you're not, as your attention is not needed fully where you are. For instance, if you're driving, just, leave this for later. You can come back and do it, right? Just listen in and begin to relax where you are. Begin to relax. Just settle into that space. Relax the body bit by bit, starting with the toes and the bases of the feet. The tops of the feet and ankles, shins and calves. Relax the knees and the soft area behind them. The quads and hamstrings, groins, pelvis and glutes. Relax the lower back, letting it feel open and unfold like the petals of a flower opening. Relax the tummy and your 6-pack. Just relax. Keep your sense of humor with you. Relax the middle back and the upper back. Open the chest. And as you open the chest, the shoulders might sink a bit and the spine might straighten a bit, right? So just feel that floaty feeling that you feel as you're centered. Relax the arms, triceps, biceps, elbows and forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, thumbs. Relax. Relax the neck. And as the shoulders pull down, they pull on the collarbone, relaxing them as well. So the neck is floating on the spine. The jaw is relaxed. The tongue is relaxed. The back of the head is relaxed. You're safe where you are. So you can let your guard down and relax right now. The lips, the cheeks, relaxed. Nostrils, nose, nasal cavity, relaxed. The glands beneath the eyes, eyelashes, eyelids, and eyebrows are relaxed. Ears relaxed, open, receptive. Forehead tranquil, serene, clear, relaxed. And the scalp is relaxed. With a command to the entire body as a whole and the field surrounding. Relax. In this relaxed state, begin to see a beautiful crystal white light about a foot above the head. Just hovering there. And you know it's good. You just get the sense that this is a welcome, beautiful representation of the source of your being, your vitality, your strength, your life force. You feel it there. You feel its presence and you know it's good and you know it's supportive. Now begin to feel that trickling down into the crown area, which is just the scalp of the head or just above the scalp of the head in that area. Just feel that area being filled with this beautiful golden white light running down into that space, as if it's liquid running into that space and clearing, cleansing, opening, letting you know your direct connection to your source. The purity of that energy, you feel it and you know that the signal is clear. You know what you are in this instant. Begin to feel that energy running further down, that golden white light running from the crown area down into the third eye region, just about an inch above the eyebrows in the middle of the forehead, right? Feel the entire band of that energy as a giant cushion being filled with this energy, being filled with this beautiful golden white energy. So all your visions are purified, your visions are clarified, your visions are resonating with the idea of the source for your life, the idea of your source for your life, the intended ease, the intended fulfillment, the intended joy and bliss that comes with being fulfilled. Feel that in your vision and feel yourself in that feeling of being clear, confident, supported. Continue to allow that energy to flow down. That golden white energy flows down a bit further into the throat region, down into the throat, down into what you express, down into what comes out of your mouth. The energy that comes forward is that beautiful golden white energy, clarity. Even if your words are not particularly clear, the vibration that is emitted is absolutely clear, crystal clear. The message is always received. As you release into a world that responds directly to this message of clarity. Feel that coming in that space and feel that clarity open. Anything that you've said in the past that didn't resonate is now washed away completely, and this energy fills the space, reinforming, remembering your life according to this. Remembering, remembering with vibration, remembering with the signal. Now continue to go down, feel that energy flow down into the heart space, the organizer of the physical. Feel the signal moving out from you, extending more than 50 feet from you, directly outwards into the world and the field around you. As this energy comes in, it goes into that heart space, clarifying, cleansing any attachments that may be there according to past longings or past understandings of yourself are washed away and cleared, and the space is open to receive the new idea of yourself, this divine idea of yourself that has dropped down into you, that is filling that space and washing away all else that is not that. All that is not that is not there. It is gone. It is washed away. And this beautiful golden white energy is now filling this space and recalibrating you to express the new. Continue and allow that energy to flow down further, to flow down, down into the will center, down into just above the tummy region there. Just feel that space being filled. This is your will. This is your certainty about yourself. Feel that certainty flow into the top of mind, top of heart, being clear. Feel that energy itself clearing. And any questions about yourself, any doubts or concerns based on perception are now washed away completely. The fire, the fury, the energy, the light energy is coming forward. And fury in a pure way, the purity of the energy, the certainty about the self, knowing that you are divine, that is what is expressed. Clarity, strength in your voice, clarity, certainty. Feel that certainty and that groundedness in what you are, and continue to allow the energy to flow down further into the sacral center, into that area of creativity, into that area of your artistic expression. You express the divine directly in the way you move, in the way you talk, in everything that you do, everything that you think and are. The energy itself is being expressed in a creative way, in a way that speaks of your uniqueness, your unique artistic expression, the tone of voice, the way you move through space, the way you communicate. All the thoughts that come to you from that place of artistic expression are now divine, are now golden. Continue further down. Allow that energy to flow down into that root space, into that place that is usually reserved for survival, but is now recognized as a place of thriving because the energy of the source is filling that space and letting you know that you're meant to thrive, you're meant to do well, you're meant to be filled to overflowing. Feel that overflowing goodness and that security, that stability, knowing that you don't have to hustle for life, that life is hustling to you and through you. Life is making itself available to you in new and varied ways, continuing to allow you to expand, to grow, to become even more than you were yesterday or the day before. Just feel yourself expanding. Feel that life flowing through you with new creative ideas, new ways of expressing and doing things. Feel the security and the versatility in that. You're never stuck or pigeonholed. You always have opportunities coming towards you, brand new opportunities. Feel that openness and feel your ability to see and take action on those opportunities in certainty and strength. Now realize that the entire channel is now open and clear, and you are receiving divinity directly within you. Your divine idea is being expressed as you. Feel the vibration of it running straight through your center and moving out into the limbs, moving out into the surface of the skin, bringing strength to you, allowing you to feel strong, certain, clear. Feel that clarity. Feel yourself open to the divine and the divine rushing in. All of the universe is rushing into the space right now to let you know exactly what you are and what you are capable of in every minute. It's not about potential anymore. It's about expression of your divinity, expression of what you are. Feel that certainty as your channel, the vessel is open to receive the good. Take the breath and release. Take the breath. Release, and one more deep breath, straight down, and release. And you might feel that vibration moving through you. You might feel the ripples in your skin. Gently start to move back towards the surface of the skin, wiggling the fingers and toes, and feel that energy moving through you. Feel yourself coming forward, but coming forward into the newness, the freshness of your connection to all that is divine, to your connection to you. When you're good and ready, you can go ahead and open up the eyes and start the rest of your beautiful day. Yeah.
Thank you. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Let us know in the comments how you're feeling, how that was for you. So beautiful. Thank you for that. That was great. I had this image of the tree of life, and it was like pouring in, and so much goodness was coming in. It was really, really powerful. Let us know in the comments, even if you're catching the replay, let us know how that experience was for you. And I had the thought too, that for anybody, because I know there's a lot of people catching the replay. Yeah, I see you there, Alexis. Yeah, I know a lot of people are catching the replay. So here's what we want to do, because I had this drop down after I saw the tree of life. If you are catching the replay and you choose to come into Thrive, either for the month or for the year today, we're going to honor if you come in for the month, we're going to honor the 20-minute session with one of us as a gift. But you got to come in today. You got to click the link. You got to activate something today.
You got to use them fingers.
Yeah. If you choose to come in for the year, we're going to gift you a session with Gabriel and a session with me. Okay. That's today. So when the clock strikes midnight, that's when the thing becomes a pumpkin again. Okay. Like it goes back. All right. So you got to click a link today, take action today, come into Thrive monthly or come into Thrive for the year. There's some really great additional bonuses. Go check out that website, click the link on the site, read through, check out the testimonials if you're new to our world. If it's a vibe and you just know, because you know us or you've been in our world, just click the link, like follow it through, just do the thing. Tonight we have class. Thrive Evolution tonight. Every Tuesday night we have class in Thrive Evolution. Tonight we're going to be focused on intuition, higher self energy. Specifically, we co-created the class live here with y'all. We're going to claim our power. We're going to heal the inner environment. So we're going to shift that internal environment that we've been all living in. And then we're going to create a new inner, which will then change the outer environment using our third eye and our higher self. And we're going to heal some stuff around our vision, okay? So that we get really purified and clarified in what we're creating. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. This whole month of Thrive, amazing. Like whenever you come in, that's when your month starts, by the way. It's not like March, April, May, like your month. If today is the day that you start, you're here with us for 4 weeks, okay? So it's your month. Does that make sense? Your month starts today, right? Like if you come in today, just like some people came in last week, your month started last week. Okay. I just want to clarify that. So there's not just the month of March. All right. Let's see if there's any comments and questions. You're so welcome. I was glowing and overflowing. I feel clear and empowered, says Tara. Crystal Barnes is saying, thank you. Alexa said, I miss the feeling of being held by source surging throughout my entire body. Truly powerful. Oh, that's so good to hear, Alexis. Yeah, this is the power. Like, this is what we were saying in these sessions and like being in this type of a space. It's so important to do this type of work regularly, especially because we're so inundated, you guys. This is why it's so important to like jump into a space like Thrive Evolution. We made it super, super easy for you guys to say yes right now. And this is a great time to step into Thrive Evolution. Click the links. Gabriel, maybe you can repost them again once we close this down. Yeah. And then Tara was saying I was glowing and overflowing. I feel clear and empowered. Beautiful. So good. So good. Yeah. Amazing. So you guys have the rest of today to upgrade, to jump in, to do the thing. The links are there. Thrive monthly or Thrive for the year. There's different bonuses. Check out the site. Everything's there. Watch some testimonials. If you're like, I like, are these people legit? If you don't know us, watch other people's videos and testimonials. Read the testimonials. Check it out. Due diligence. Okay. If you know us or you've been in our world already, then and you feel that pull and you feel that call or you feel that next step to jump in, let's do this, because this is a really powerful time. We are creating heaven on earth right now. You and I, us, all of us, we're creating heaven on earth. And it's so much easier to do that when you're in a space, in a place that's surrounded by other people who are also doing the same thing. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next week. All right. We have one more week of Thrive in 5 next week, same time, same place. And for those of you who are in Thrive Evolution, I'll see you guys tonight. Bye.